Hi everybody. So it's been a while since I made an Asperger's vlog video, and mainly that was just because there wasn't anything specifically I really wanted to talk about that related to Asperger's. So I just haven't done one, but today I wanted to talk about stomach problems. And I've read in a lot of books that I've read about high functioning autism that stomach problems are very common among people who have high functioning autism. And I myself, the first I remember really having severe stomach problems was around 12. And it started happening right after my dad died. So I think it had somewhat to do with stress. But I remember going through a lot of times where I was just nauseous and sick all the time. And eventually they thought I had an ulcer or something like that. And I'm not sure if I actually did. I took, the medicine they gave me, and it did seem to make it better, but I'm not sure if that was really the problem because later I was diagnosed with IBS. And so I think that may have been causing those problems too, but I'm not sure. The only other actual diagnosis, or it's not even a diagnosis really, the only thing they've really found on all the tests they've done is like inflammation and things like that in my digestive system. So mainly I just go with the whole IBS diagnosis because that's really all that I know for sure. And I do have IBS pretty bad sometimes. Um, right now, I'm trying to get a job at our local hospital, and I think I'll really like the job. I think it would be good for me to get out and feel like I had maybe more control over my life by, getting a job and just feeling like a regular person, I guess. Because sometimes I feel like kind of, I don't know, just not in touch with the rest of the world because when you work at home, you don't really, you don't get out there and feel like you're a part of things as much. So I think it'll be good, and it's only a part time job. But what worries me the most is my stomach problems because they hit out of nowhere, and I don't always know what causes them. Like, I know some things that definitely cause IBS attacks, and one of them is lactose. I am definitely lactose intolerant, and I can have small amounts of like yogurt and cheese, which don't tend to upset people with IBS as much, but I can't have much, of like ice cream or even regular milk. If I have much of that, like in my cereal or whatever, it can really affect me. So that's one thing that definitely makes things worse for me. And another thing is fat, like fried foods or um, really rich desserts or anything that just has a lot of fat in it really can set me off as far as my IBS goes. So those things I can try to minimize and reduce the chance of having IBS attacks at work. But there's always a chance that I'll have attacks out of the blue because I sometimes do and I don't know what causes them. And if any of you have had IBS or stomach problems like that, then you know that um, it's very hard to work a job if you are constantly running to the bathroom because you're gonna have diarrhea or you're gonna be sick or whatever. And it's really tough to deal with. I do have medicine I take for it, but the problem is the medicine only really works if I take it before I eat. So I pretty much have to know that something's going to upset me, or I have to take it with every meal, which I don't want to do because it causes other side effects. So I don't want to just take it unnecessarily. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with, is just a lot of stress about how to deal with these stomach problems. And I mean, I've, been tested for, gluten and a lot of other things because I hear a lot of people with Asperger's syndrome um, are also have like an intolerance to gluten, although that doesn't seem to be the case in my particular experience. But I definitely do have the lactose intolerance, which I've also read that a lot of people with Asperger's have just food sensitivities in general. And I do possibly somewhat have that because even foods that are good for me can sometimes really trigger IBS, like salads and things like that. And I think in salads, a lot of times it's the lettuce for some reason. It really upsets my stomach. And even like caffeine and Coke and things like that can make IBS worse. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. And if any of you fellow Aspies have also had stomach problems like most or all of your life, feel free to comment and kind of tell me your own experience, what kind of stomach problems you've had, if you've actually ever had a diagnosis, and things like that. Because it makes me somewhat feel better when I know that I'm not the only one dealing with things like this. Because sometimes it can seem really unfair. When you put together all the things that can come along with Asperger's syndrome that can impair or impact your life. Sometimes it seems really unfair to think that most people in the world don't have to deal with all this crap, and I do. And I think probably a lot of people with Asperger's feel that way, about whether it be social issues or, um, you know, making conversation or uh, having problems with muteness or, stomach problems or any of the other host of issues that can come along with high functioning autism. So, anyway, I guess that's all I'm going to say today. And I'll try to make some more Asperger's videos soon. I definitely still plan to do so. Sometimes I'm just not inspired to talk about that particular problem in my life. So I appreciate all of you who follow me. And if you haven't followed me, I hope you'll consider it and I hope you'll like this video. So thanks, and I'll see you later. Bye.